Tonight on this super important show, we meet the evil twin of the hot dog, the cold dog. We, you ruined. I was being dramatic, and then you left. We hear the creepy voice that's haunting American Airlines, and we check out the best, worst rip-off movies that are out there. I'm so excited to play these clips for you. They are insane. I am Destiny Dado. I am one of your hosts, but I am joined by two other amazing people. First up, it's the wonderful Heather Jules Booth. Heather Jules Booth, how are you?
I'm great. How are you, Dustin?
I'm good, even though
I ruined your intro.
Even though you ruined my intro.
It was so good. The way you said
I need to get better at being dramatic and not having it mess me up. And we have a special guest, improviser Stephanie Rose. Stephanie Rose, how are you?
I'm great. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here. You're coming straight out of Philly, I believe, or you're in New Jersey now, but you're from Philly. What's the story? Tell us who you are. What's your situation?
Yes, I'm a Philly girl who performed in New York City for 14 years and then decided to go perform in Philly again. So now I'm back on this side of the bridge.
Nice. Well, thank you so much for joining us. And we have so much show today that we need to just get pretty much like directly into it.
sure do.
So let's get into World You Crazy. Heather, what do we got?
Oh, you ready for this world? Well, everybody, as we swing into fall, Oscar Mayer has announced it's going to start selling a cold dog popsicle in select cities. It will be selling, oh yes, that's what you think it is, a hot dog flavored popsicle. It's dubbed Cold Dog. It will be sold for $2 at frozen desserts company Pop Bar, who helped co-create this delight. And it's going to be in New York City, Atlanta, New Orleans, Long Beach, and though this article doesn't want you to know it, the press release said Atlantic City, which I think is an important thing that we needed to understand here.
Because it is a gamble to eat in the
It's a gamble to eat it, and you need to be drunk in Atlantic City to be like, I'm gonna try it.
Yep.
It says, and I think it's important to note that this article says it visibly resembles a hot dog.
But
So a penis, not a stick?
Right, exactly. Topped with mustard, which is in air quotes. No, it's literally in quotes. And has smoky umami notes of Oscar Mayer's iconic wiener.
I mean, by saying iconic wiener, you're leaning into it, right?
Oh, this knows what it's doing.
Yeah.
I mean, this absolutely knows what it's doing.
Do y'all want to see it?
Oh, yeah, bring it. Let's bring on that cold dog.
It looks just like you think it would.
Yeah.
It's
Also, I like that they were like, no, the model needs to have matching nail polish. But in actuality, it just looks like the nail polish sort of dripped onto her nails. This is an interesting design. So they also, the article left out some of the stuff that's in this press release. The press release saying such wonderful gems as fans will really relish the opportunity. Michelle, did you write this? I'm just realizing as I read this. Fans will relish the opportunity for a hot dog flavored frozen pop. This idea is genius. Somebody said, I don't know whose relative that was, but somebody's relative said that this idea was genius. And somebody else said, where you can enjoy this treat so that you can beat the heat. And I was like, okay, I know exactly what you're going for. And they said you need to look for it in the iconic 27-foot hot dog on wheels, outfitted as now a frozen pop truck with frosted windows, icicle-inspired decorations, and more. And we don't get to know what more is.
Wait, is that the only place we can get it? We can't just go to the store to get it?
You cannot just go to the store and get this. You have to go and get it from one of these 27-foot wiener.
Okay, so they designed a thing that nobody in the world would want, and then said, hey, how can we make it very difficult to get?
Right.
Okay, I just want to make sure.
No, you're correct. You're correct.
Joey, thank you for pointing out my
I feel like this came about.
my graphic.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I feel like the reason this is a thing is because somebody put hot dogs in the freezer and they leaked into the ice tray.
Mm-hmm.
And then somebody ate the ice and was like, "Oh my god, this is the best ice I've ever had."
So really,
Would it be though? Like, is hot dog water ever good?
No, it makes no sense.
I
But
don't think so.
but how else would it have come about?
Right? Who was sitting around like?
A huge mistake.
Yeah. Yeah. Who was sitting around thinking like, you know what? This is exactly what I want.
Yeah. Nobody. Exactly zero
Nobody.
people.
Nobody.
But to your point, I do love the social media team over at Oscar Mayer for deciding to
thinking
go for going with things like Beat the Heat and stuff like that with
Right.
clearly like sexual innuendos that
Oh yeah,
know.
Beat the Heat.
Yeah.
Michelle says they missed out on the name Dick on a Stick. Joy says my vomit has a first name. And you can figure out the rest.
Yeah, that's the graphic. My mom has a first name.
Oh, there you go. That explains it.
Cool. All right, do we want to move on?
Does anyone else? Before we came onto the air, Stephanie asked me if I, as somebody who does not eat meat, would try the non-meat version of this, and I will admit I would try it for science. And I'd probably hate it because I don't think anything that is hot dog or hot dog flavored should be cold. But I would try it. What about you guys? Would you try this?
No. No, of course not.
Steph, you would try
okay,
it?
well go to you first then, because if you're saying yes, I feel like there's a story behind it.
Hot dogs are one of my favorite foods, but I like them burnt on the grill. So this is the exact thing I wouldn't want.
Right.
Right.
But if someone was like, try this, I would be like, okay, absolutely.
Right,
But it would be horrific.
But you wouldn't hunt down the Oscar Mayer Wienermobile to go get it, and then
I'm
pay
always
money.
hunting down the Oscar Mayer Wienermobile, but so this would just be an added bonus.
Okay.
fair,
Okay. I would be a hard pass. But okay, go ahead. Sorry.
Well, no, you can. Did you know that you can just open a package of hot dogs and just eat them? They don't have to be cooked. So maybe they were originally intended to never be cooked and just eaten cold.
Oh,
And this is their way of giving
No.
that back to them.
I don't like that. Also, I didn't know that you can just.
Yeah.
Really? There's
Mhm.
no like
Yep.
health concern of like meat disease.
You're already eating a hot dog. You're already putting mystery meat into your body. I don't feel like
It's like you're getting too hung up on this cooked part of
right.
it.
The percentage of risk increase from cooking or not cooking it is insignificant compared to the hot dogness of the whole thing. And I have eaten hot dogs. I am not against hot dogs. I just know that they are hot dogs. That they are that thing where like the people who make them just go like, I can't believe people do this, but they keep doing it.
Can't believe someone's
So-
eating this, but I guess they are.
Yeah, which feels like the hot dog ice pop is just like a let's see how ridiculous these people are. Let's see what they'll fall for. I guess we'd fall for this. And they're starting out in New York because they think maybe we're just willing to do it. I don't know.
Atlantic City.
I'm scared. Yeah.
Because
And I think, like you're saying, when they made the hot dog, they were like, no one will eat this. Let's make the ends look like tiny little buttholes.
Yeah.
No way will anyone eat this. And we love them.
and then people did,
Yes.
and they were like, well, okay.
Michelle's pointing out that they're pre-cooked. So
yeah,
that's why.
I guess to answer my question about
Yeah.
yeah.
Do we have the social thing working? I haven't seen anything pop up. But that's just
It
because
does
I'm
not seem to be working for me. I've been clicking some comments
Okay.
and not getting any action out of those
All
comments.
right. Well,
so
let's move on to our
I'll be
second
reading
story,
them then.
and I will fix it
All right.
while that's happening.
All
So
right.
I'm gonna send it over to you, Stephanie, to introduce our next story,
All right.
while I do technical stuff behind the scenes.
Yes, so this next story is very exciting because did you know that there is a flying bicycle now available, possibly soon, for Americans to ride? It was debuted in Detroit, which I don't know if you knew this, Heather, but in 1868, one of the first bikes was invented in Detroit. So it's only fitting that the 205 years later, they would debut the world's first flying bike.
I did not
It
know
looks- now you know.
No.
It looks like they took Batman's car and then asked one of the mechanics from Star Wars to make it fly, and then gave it some hoverboard action. So it is not legal yet.
What?
It won't
No,
be
what? I'm
No, it's
looking
not
at
legal.
it. How's this not legal? What?
cheap, and it won't be cheap. So we might not be getting one anytime soon. But it can go 24.8. It has a 24.8 mile cruising range, and it's sleek and sexy in the sky. Zip.
Do you want the video? I don't know if I fixed the social
Oh.
thing, but in
Oh,
the
I
meantime-
think we're ready for the video.
Okay.
I think we have to see a video.
There it is.
Mhm.
I mean, it feels like it'd be fun. And I don't like a lot of things, but that seems like a thing that would be fun.
Ride this in the safe. Well,
Yeah.
I say safe, but the safe confines, presumably safe, of like an amusement park. I don't think I'd want to take this out on the road.
I mean,
Oh, there you go. That's exactly what you said. I feel like I just got out of Star Wars.
Yep.
Now,
Oh, it
that
can
thing-
only 40 minutes. That's all you get.
Right.
Oh no.
But it's like
It's kind of like
it's a bike ride.
it's like a wave runner on top of it, like a Walmart drone.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's
I
only
don't know.
$770,000.
$777,000.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
then Heather, we can get one.
Wait,
Right.
it's obviously. I mean, I'm going to start putting some change away now. Here we go. The smaller electric version is coming up.
Okay, for whatever reason, our social thing is not. Oh no, did it work?
I don't know.
Okay.
I just saw a comment from Joy, so maybe it is.
Yeah, I think that was from me.
Great.
So it's working for me. So
All right.
I'll be the one who does it.
All right. So they use this on
Yeah.
Mandalorian. Uh-oh. People can't walk on the sidewalk. That's accurate.
Right, because their heads will get cut off.
Yeah, very
So-
accurate.
But I still want one. I still very much want
Like I
one.
said, I'd ride it in like a park.
Yeah.
Not riding that in the city streets.
Yeah, too many tall buildings in New York for that.
Yeah. I feel like it might be fun in Philly, especially if you like piss some people off.
Yeah, I mean Central Park too.
Yeah.
Right? I don't know. The trees might be an issue, but
Or you could just
what is this thing made out of? That if it's steel, it would just take the tree down. So,
Yeah, it's either going to take the tree down or it's going to like
launch
or it's
you
gonna-
into the air.
Or it's going to launch you into the air and yeah.
Yeah.
And then it's a scene out of Star Trek and then we've got all the sci-fi.
Yeah. I
Now,
still want one. I very much want one.
Again, this is what a bike looks like.
Right. Right.
That is more of like a motorcycle / jet ski.
Yeah.
Where you're not pedaling.
Right.
I wanted to see someone pedaling like Elliot. with
Yeah,
ET
like
in
a
his basket.
real like a flying bike.
That'd be so much
Yeah.
scarier that keep pedaling or you'll fall out of the sky.
I mean, it would be,
Right.
but
Like-
that's a flying bike.
Yeah,
It
but
would help obesity.
you say wait. So you're
There you go.
saying
Work out this
There
thing
you
in
go.
the air.
wait,
bike.
are you saying right now that a motorcycle is not a bike? Because you don't pedal a motorcycle. Bam! I just won that. Thank you very much.
Oh boy. Here we
Chat,
go.
support me on
Chat,
this one.
no, chat, you know
help
what
me
to
out
do,
on this
chat.
one. Because I won this one and I deserve it. And remember, her version of the chat isn't working, so I decide what goes on. So support me, I guess is what I'm saying. Anyway, did you guys answer my question? Is a motorcycle a bike? I mean, I already won, but go ahead, continue.
It's a motored bike, which that is my issue more so is I was more excited to see people pedaling around in the sky than just riding around on a topless airplane,
All right.
like riding a plane with the top down.
So if it were only like $1,000, would you get one?
Probably
Heather?
not.
Really?
Yeah, I'd wait till the version 2.0 came out.
Okay,
Yeah.
I would get one in a second. Heather, you wouldn't get one either?
No. No.
I
Too unsafe.
I'm
Better
eating
ways
my
to spend that money.
Oscar Mayer popsicle on the ground.
Yeah, exactly. Michelle says flying DeLorean or bus. That's the
Yeah.
truth. Yep.
not calling it a hover bike. Enjoys
Yeah.
rebuking it anyway.
Flying Yep.
Uh,
I rebuke it.
all right. Time to move on to our third story.
All right.
Coming over to me. Okay, so American Airlines on several different flights has said this weird voice thing happened. So people are just sitting there flying, and then a weird voice comes over, like the announcing thing, and basically like they had all the flight attendants like stand right by the things to make sure nobody on the flight was actually doing it, and nobody on the flight was actually doing it. So I'll play the clip that that exists of it, and then we'll talk about where this potentially is coming from.
Someone on this flight seems to have broken into the intercom system and continues to make a sound that is somewhere between an orgasm and vomiting.
Ladies and gentlemen, we realize there is an extremely irritating sound coming over the public announcement. The flight deck is trying to troubleshoot, trying to turn it off, so please be patient with us. We know this is a very odd anomaly and none of us are enjoying it, so we do appreciate your attention just for a few more moments so we figure out how to turn it off. Thank you.
Who is having a puke yank?
Kind of amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
Still going.
And that's pretty much how it ends.
Oh my god, this
No.
is amazing.
So that's been happening on like 6 different flights.
That's amazing.
Just on
hilarious.
American Airlines, just on flights from LA to New York, and I think San Antonio to Dallas are the 2 versions where this is happening. So on all the flights, they basically like went back and said like, okay, let's go to all of the different like intercoms, see if we can catch somebody doing it. Nothing. So then they had the inspectors, and here's why I think there's something up. Because they had the inspectors look at the plane. Let me get the exact quote in front of me. And what the airline said is, our maintenance team thoroughly inspected the aircraft and the PA system and determined the sounds were caused by a mechanical issue with the PA amplifier, which raises the volume of the PA system when the engines are running, said Sarah Jantz, a spokesperson for American. That is a bullshit excuse. It's not how anything works.
Mechanical sounds.
No, not at all.
No.
There was clearly a human being.
That was 100%. Somebody had a sound app. Somebody
Yeah.
has one of those like sound apps that's like make funny sounds, make your friends
Right.
laugh, and they figured out how to hack in. That's
Right.
what I think. I think they figured
Right.
out how to hack into the
Or ghost plane. I'm just saying, possibility of ghost plane.
I don't think it's a ghost plane.
You don't know.
No, I think it was too. It sounded too pre-recorded to be a ghost plane. Like
Michelle's
like
calling
a guy
bullshit.
was pressing a button. I think it could be Mr. TikToker pressing a button.
I think there was too much variety there for it to just be a button. I think there was a lot of like bizarre sounds. Yeah.
I think somebody is quitting their job.
Yes,
They are
I
just
yep.
waiting to be found out.
But 6 times on multiple flights?
If
Like-
you, honestly, I think I'm with Stephanie there. If you're like you're ready to be out the door. You're like 1.5 feet out the door, and you're like, you know what? I'm gonna have some fun before I go.
Right.
Yeah.
You want to be. You can't quit because you want unemployment. You've got to get creative.
There you go.
You found a glitch in the system.
Or
You're
they
going with it.
or they already put their notice in, and this is their last couple weeks, and they're like, what are you guys gonna do when you find out? Fire me?
But no, it's been months though. It's been over a series of months since they've been doing this
Listen, if
investigation.
you're good enough to hack into the airplane tech like that, you could have set this up for like, they could have like preset
It's possible.
tech things.
But like because
That's
they were
what I think.
because they're like it's not connected to Wi-Fi in any way. It's a closed system, so you would have to somehow like physically connect into it. You can't just like, you can't just like find the right passcode or something like that. You have to physically do it. So, I mean, a flight attendant would make sense considering it's across the same thing, but also,
Oh, an angry.
but also
flight attendant.
Ghost Plane makes a lot of sense because that plane is haunted and it's happening on that plane.
They should give like a priest a free ride.
Right.
Be like, let us know what's going on. Or someone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Somebody. They just start getting a bunch of psychics on the plane, mediums.
Yeah. Just do one exorcism
One
and
per
see if
ride.
something changes. That's all
Oh
I'm
my
saying.
god, a plane exorcism.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, I there's plenty of mediums who would gladly want to take that exact plane.
Yeah.
Right. What if it was a whole plane
Why
full of
not?
mediums? Yeah. Somebody will figure it out.
Then there would be a fight with the mediums.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes, there would be.
Yeah. So if you're flying American Airlines, just be prepared to get creeped out. Sometimes they said it happened just in the beginning of the flight. Sometimes they said it happened through the whole flight. So you never do know what's going to happen there if you're on American Airlines and you're flying and you want a creepy voice.
It's going to be an extra charge now. It's going to
Yeah,
be an extra
right?
charge.
Creepy
Do you want
voice?
a haunted plane or
Do you
not?
want a haunted-
Yeah, like
yeah.
do you want the haunted plane or not haunted plane? Extra $68.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna keep us moving along. Before we go on to what the fact, our next segment, we have to continue in our ongoing information about Snoop Loops. We started this a few weeks ago, and I basically check the website every day, multiple times a day. I am messing with their algorithm in terms of like how much interest people have because like, hey, this one guy checks multiple times a day looking for new content. Don't worry, I found it. I found new content. No more information. The disappointing thing is that there's no new information on the K9 team, which is really what I'm looking for. I want to know what Moxie's up to. I want to know what Hercules is up to. I won't know that for a little while until they update it. But good news, Snoop got involved himself this time, and he shot a commercial,
Oh my god.
and we have it.
Oh my god.
And I will play it.
When I was a kid, I used to love cereal. And guess what? I'm still a big kid, and I love cereal. But now, I got some cereal that you can fall in love with. Snoop Loops. Brought to you by yours truly, Master P, and the Bronx Food Group Selection. Hello, breakfast food days.
Oh my god. Wow.
Yeah.
That's great.
I
That is.
challenge you to tell me that he was not high during that process.
I cannot challenge you.
Yeah.
Now,
With the
is-
holding the boxes against his head, it's crazy.
Is sharing is caring copywritten yet, or just because I'm pretty sure that's been used before?
Pretty sure it's been.
No, it's first time. First time.
Wow.
Yeah.
Huh.
Joy wants me to say Snoop Loops again because for whatever reason she loves it when I say Snoop Loops. So,
Snoop Loops.
uh,
That is
yeah. So
really funny.
stick around here for the latest information.
I mean, now it's like a weekly segment.
Right,
I think
right.
Now it's
I'm-
like a weekly check-in.
Yeah, I'm hoping that they keep giving us new content. And also, don't forget to like and subscribe because that helps us a ton. That helps people know that it helps us know that you enjoy the content. It helps other people know you enjoy the content, and it informs you when we have new episodes. So please take a moment to like and subscribe. We would appreciate it so much. And now, as I try and stall while I click all the red buttons, now we head over to What the Fact. In this What the Fact segment, normally, when we do this show, we try very hard to not violate copyright infringement. Not this episode. This may be the lost episode. This may be the episode where YouTube is like, "Hey, man, come on, we like, we've been cool, but we're gonna break some rules." So, also, normally in this segment, I try and go for a bunch of different topics. Again, not this time. I came across an article of ridiculous knockoff things in ridiculous movies. So, I have clips from as many of them as I could get.
Wow.
So, here we go. So, for our first question, I'm going to play you a clip that's got a song in it. And then I'm going to give you 3 options as to what movie that song came from. So, while you're watching it, study it and try and figure out where it came from. I would still argue that the rap from Teen Witch, Top That, is my favorite ridiculous rap from a movie. This is a good second. So, here we go.
It was a lucky that I gave her. Then, when I was eating the bread, I heard her say that she can't go to parties because she has nothing to wear.
What?
Sad. How about if she comes to our party, Mama? You're having one, aren't we?
We'll talk to Fritz about her.
Just the snack I'm looking for.
Uh-oh. Danger.
If it hadn't been for you, I would be now in someone else's digestion.
What?
There's something you should know, so I'm gonna tell you so. Don't sweat it, forget it, enjoy the show. Working all day, now it's time to unwind. Kick back, relax, take a load off your mind.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be busting the moves and I'll be busting the rhymes. We'll be busting up laughing cause it's party time.
This song will haunt you.
Cause it's party time. Party time. Party time. Everybody's feeling fine cause it's party time. Party time. Party time. Everybody's feeling fine cause it's party time. Party time. Party time. Everybody's feeling fine cause it's party time. Party time. Party time. Everybody's feeling fine cause it's party time. But just leave your troubles at the door, leave your worries behind, leave the rest up to me, you're gonna like what you find. I'll be busting the moves and I'll be busting the rhymes, we'll be busting up laughing cause it's party time. Party time, it's party time, everybody's feeling fine cause it's party time. Party time, party time, everybody's feeling fine cause it's party time. Party time, party time, everybody's feeling fine cause it's party time. Party time.
I hate how much this is gonna be stuck in my head.
Yep.
Uh-huh.
Still
There's just
going.
a poster in the background of herself and it just says rap music.
Yeah.
It's party
New York.
time.
Yeah, in white.
Okay, so my question to you. Oh, I should have said what movie was the previous clip from. Was it from Tales from the Plague? Was it from Titanic, The Legend Goes On? Or was it from Cinderella, At It Again?
What a title.
Stephanie, I'm going to go to you first.
I'm
Which
gonna
movie
say
do you
C.
think that was from? You're going to say C, Cinderella
Yes.
2, At It Again. Okay.
I think that was their the work song, this Cinderella dress song.
Okay. I mean, Michelle already knows the answer, so she can't play. I have one option for sounds like Rico Suave. It does. Joy Max is going to go with C. You're also going to go with C. Heather, what are you thinking?
I'm going to go with my gut, which is when you first started playing it, I was going to yell out, is this the sequel to Titanic, only it's American Tail, Titanic, Fievel rides the ship of dreams?
Okay.
So I'm going to go with Titanic 2.
You're going to go with Titanic 2.
Yes.
Okay.
That was clearly a drawing of the Titanic.
Right. The truth of the matter is you're correct. It is Titanic. The Legend Goes On. The sequel to Titanic, even though that's not a thing that could be.
Wow. Do
Yeah.
I need to watch this, Michelle? Because clearly you've seen it. I think I need to watch this.
Yeah. She was explaining that the movie is insane.
Well, it's, I mean,
Of course
was
it is, yeah.
clearly a
course it is.
knockoff of American Tail, but then there
Yeah.
was the Titanic, and then there was like that Little Mermaid moment with the chef chasing them, and
Right.
then there's a rapping dog.
Right. Speedy Gonzalez was there, I'm pretty sure.
What year
Um,
is it from?
Uh,
It has to be after.
Yeah.
Wait, is it after the Titanic movie?
I believe
Well,
so.
the legend
Right.
goes
Yeah.
on.
Right,
So
because that would make
Uh,
me.
the heart,
The
their heart went on.
Oh yeah, the
This
legend
goes
right,
on.
Right.
You're right.
I watched bits and pieces of it. It's just as dark as you would think because the Titanic goes down.
Right. Right.
So it's like
right.
people die. Like
Well,
it's,
and wait,
it's not a kid's
wait.
cartoon.
It was in New York.
It's going to New York. There are
Oh, that's why there's the posters, right?
Yeah.
Because I was going to say the Titanic doesn't make it to New York.
right.
It's the
No,
same.
but it's en route.
Okay. So all that
Yeah.
stuff where they're rapping is taking place what in like Southampton?
1912.
Is it
That's what
Ireland? When
how
they made that
dressed.
first stop that they didn't crash.
Yeah, I think it's an I don't know.
They left Southampton and then they stopped at Ireland real fast.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think although my favorite part is still if you didn't help me I would be in someone's digestion.
Yes.
Which I just
Yes.
I
What
just
a,
love.
what a lyric.
Yes.
What a
All right, moving on to question number 2. Okay, so all of these are potential knockoffs for Marvel movies. Because if you're gonna make a movie, go for Marvel. Go for the big dogs.
Sure.
Go for, something that's already getting like so many viewers. So, Heather, I'm gonna come to you first. So get ready.
Okay.
Which of the following is a real movie? Is it The Amazing Bulk, a knockoff of The Incredible Hulk? Is it Doctor Stranger? Or is it The Revengers?
Okay, how many of these can be right?
I will tell you that only one of them is right. And I will play the trailer for the one that is right.
Okay, I'm gonna go with The Revengers.
Okay.
I think The Amazing Bulk is too obviously a joke.
Okay.
It could be Doctor Stranger, because that's pretty interesting, but I'm gonna go with The Revengers.
Okay. Elizabeth's going with B.
Okay.
So you got one for The Revengers, one for Doctor Strange. Stephanie, what do you think?
I would like to see Doctor Stranger, so I'm hoping that's the real one.
Okay. Michelle would also like them all to be real. She's going to go with C. Joy is going with B or C. So far a lot for B and C. Elizabeth saying C seems like a very strong possibility. I'm not going to make the argument that C isn't conceivably an answer. But in this case, it is not the answer.
Ah, damn.
In this case, it is The Amazing Bulk.
No.
Yes.
It was too funny. Wow.
Right.
Wow.
And as I promised, we will play the trailer for The Amazing Bulk, which feels like it was done probably in an afternoon, with one green screen and people who don't understand how movies work. Particularly look at the windshield of the car every time a car appears.
They're gonna be a delivery boy.
Oh no.
Yeah.
What? What?
Never saw purple blood before.
Well, this whole crime scene is one big mystery now.
Yep.
There was a double homicide last night.
Where'd you find it?
A better question is, how'd you lose it?
We were at the amusement park, off the subway, and a guy popped out of nowhere and robbed us at gunpoint.
I think our Henry murdered the mother.
General Darwin has been more than gracious with our setbacks.
We haven't even met the Amazing Bulk yet, but it's coming.
Funding this project unless you start showing some goddamn results.
I know you're not going to believe me, but your dad tried to kill me.
Step aside.
There is a madman by the name Dr. Kemp. We believe he is sending a rocket to the moon and plans to blow it up.
We're gonna have to take you down to the station.
It's not what it looks like.
Here it comes.
What the hell is that?
Well, it ain't Barney the Purple Dinosaur. We're sending you there alone to eliminate.
What is happening?
I shall eliminate you.
An amazing pin drop.
Yeah.
Look out!
It was an accident.
Oh, on location.
Experiment gone crazy.
An accident is wetting your bed.
Oh no.
So that happened, guys. It is The Amazing Bulk.
What? I have so many questions about this, and I know we don't have time to answer them.
Yeah.
But we get to all through that, and then it's like, no, an accident is wetting your bed. Cut to a guy who is looking at his dick because he wet the bed? What? Like, what?
Yeah,
What is happening?
I guess Joy is mildly attracted to him, saying his butt's kind of cute.
All right.
Why is the Bulk going commando? Michelle is definitely gonna get this movie as soon as this is done. So yeah. So anyway, that I believe that movie is also fully available on YouTube, but you'll have to check that out. I know that the next movie that we're going to talk about is fully available on YouTube. Stephanie, we're going to come to you first again on this one. And again, It is just which of the following movies here is real? Is it? Hold on, let me just clear the Is it Ratatouille, a knockoff of the movie Ratatouille? Is it Finding Jesus, a knockoff of the movie Finding Nemo?
Oh, no.
Or is it Dolly Dearest, a knockoff of Chucky, but also kind of Mommy Dearest? Which one of those is an actual movie that you could watch right now if you wanted to?
I think Dolly Dearest, because female dolls can be just as evil as male dolls, and it's our time to shine.
Okay. Elizabeth's going B all the way. She's going with Finding Jesus. Michelle knows too many of these, so Joy's going with definitely Finding Jesus. And Topping wants it to be Dolly Dearest. Heather, what do you think?
I'm really torn between it being B or C, because I agree Finding Jesus sounds like 100% someone saw Finding Nemo, some Christian company, and was like, yeah, let's do this, except the mystery is you're finding Jesus. And then there's like, instead of the fish, they're like looking for the loaves of bread and the something, the fish symbol.
Okay.
But I could also see a world where somebody makes Dolly Dearest because someone was real, like someone's like, Mommy Dearest is their all-time favorite movie, but they can only make a horror film. So they were like, okay, but hear me out. What if? What if? But I'll go with B. But I'm
You're gonna go with
conflicted.
B.
I will.
Okay.
Because I feel very closely that it might also be C. I don't think it's A.
Okay. So the actual answer, because you didn't ask me this time, is all of them.
God damn it.
All of them.
Damn it. The one time I don't ask you.
Yeah.
Oh, Heather.
Ratatouille is a knockoff with far worse animation that takes place in Brazil.
Okay.
Dolly Dearest is very much just a straight up Chucky.
Exactly what we think.
And so is Finding Jesus. I only brought the trailer for one of them, and it is Finding Jesus because I find those things
that's
very entertaining.
Yes. Wow, now entertainment. Oh.
It's a beautiful underwater day in the ocean.
Jesus sure
Joy!
has blessed us with lives in such a beautiful underwater universe.
All of our fellow sea creatures could learn a lot from you two.
God leads by example. Jesus keeps his promises, and so should we. Always.
All things are possible through Jesus. We just have to have faith.
Oh no.
Praise Jesus, Joy! Always and forever, Muggles. Woohoo!
Why are they using the term Muggles?
Muggles.
That you can very much find on YouTube.
I'm also disappointed because that didn't have any plot. That was
No.
literally just a bunch of fish saying, you kids should be obedient. Praise Jesus. Thank Jesus. Where's the mystery? What? How are we need to find Jesus. I want Jesus to be floating in the ocean. I want us searching for Jesus.
Here's the thing too. I like scrolled through it like pretty quickly. Okay, so there is no plot. It's basically just like 4 long conversations about Jesus. It's all them floating the way that they are in those shots. Like they don't travel anywhere really.
Well, because look at those effects.
Right? They just sit there and talk about their love of Jesus.
Wow.
Michelle pointing out pure depth. Of course, if Joy's going to be in a movie about Jesus, I'm going to play it. Yeah, of course it's indoctrination because look, that's what these things are.
Especially when it was like, make sure you thank him and knowledge.
It was like they were like, we have to appeal to children.
Yeah.
There's a term in Harry Potter, Muggles, and there's a Disney movie, Finding Nemo, that kids love. Like, let's just do what we can and then talk about Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If we say Muggles enough and Jesus, kids will want to know Jesus.
Yep.
Yes.
So.
Wow.
I found all those on Saturday, and it took me all the power in my body to not tell Joy about them because I really wanted to show her.
I also want to share with you that in between questions, I did
Yeah.
quickly find the Titanic. I needed to know more about it. So I'd like to share with you all, if I may, that it is from 2000. It's an Italian animated musical film about the sinking of the Titanic. Exactly. Apparently there are humans in it. It does a really bad retelling of the Titanic story. Stephanie, you were very close with your guess because it's a woman being treated badly as a servant by her wicked stepmother and 2 stepsisters, but she runs away on the Titanic. And then, hits an iceberg, etc., etc. But it says that the film was described by an author of Titanic on Film, Myth versus Truth as being a failed Disney imitation that excels in bad taste. Somebody else wrote that it was inappropriate for children and that it's offensive to the Titanic's memory. Someone else said one of the worst ever films, and someone else said among the most nuttily enjoyable bad movies of the 2000s. I'm going to be looking for it because I need to see this. Anyway, I wanted to share that with you.
Yeah.
If you're friends with me on Facebook, I posted a link to the Wikipedia so you can read about it too.
So yeah, all of those are real, and all of those are Ratatouille. If you get a chance to watch it, is very bad. Also, it's that animation when they first started figuring out animation, where like things just sort of like turn, but they aren't. There isn't like any. It's all real bad.
I feel like what was it, Dolly Dearest? I feel like that has the most promise.
Yeah, I mean it was just straight up a Chucky thing with like, but it was a lady.
Yeah.
Like, you know, who was just straight up murdering the whole time.
Well,
from what I could see from the trailer, it was just straight up murdering the whole entire time.
There's a lot of scary doll movies out there.
Yeah, but
Pale Kid.
Yeah.
At the time, people were considering it mildly progressive because it was a female murdering doll.
Hey.
You know, it's not only men that can be dolls and murder people.
Right. That's what she said. Yep.
The whole point. That's the whole point.
Yeah. Elizabeth pointing out that it is weird to see Muggles considering how many Christians protested Harry Potter. Good point. But they seem to, maybe they love this movie. I don't know. I'm not familiar with enough Christians who potentially
if they
saw.
Praise Jesus, I assume that they're on board with
There's
it.
only so much you can read before you just believe what you want to believe.
Right.
But yeah, for finding Jesus, you can go out there and watch the whole movie right now if you want to. Wait till the show's done, but you can find out everything you possibly want to know. Which brings us to our final segment, which is Would You Rather. Heather, do you want to get us going?
Sure do. Okay, everyone. Would you rather be stranded on a deserted island for 2 months alone, or be stranded on a desert island with 20 people, including an expert survivalist and a serial killer? Can the serial killer and the survivalist be the same person? Does it matter?
It's your question. You get to decide.
I'll leave it up to everyone. Perhaps they are the same person. Stephanie is the guest. I'm coming to you first. So which one of these options would you prefer?
2 months alone. If I find any food, I'm not sharing it.
Nice.
Nice.
Nice. No serial killer. Like, no, you don't want to.
Yeah.
Not risking it.
If it's the same person, Joy's choosing alone. Topping is choosing alone.
Yeah, I'll be alone. I don't need anybody chasing me when I'm tired or strategizing. And someone out of those 20 would be a talker.
That's a really good point. Yep. Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. All right, Dustin, what about you?
I'm sorry. I'm going to have to disagree. I'm going with the 20 people.
Well,
I know
you. I knew you would choose this.
Right, because I will die. Because I possess none of the skills necessary to keep myself alive.
But you might die with a serial killer.
Right, but like we can all huddle together. Like as long as you're like if you go in groups of 5, 4 groups of 5 that always stay together, then the 4 people will always be able to outmaneuver the serial killer. So we just like everybody sleeps in shifts and stuff like that. There's always a couple of people awake to make sure that, you know, that everybody's safe. I think there are ways to basically keep the serial killer in check while still listening, because you can listen to the survivalist and do what the survivalist says and just make sure that the serial killer like doesn't kill anybody. Maybe it's like a thing where like we bring a bunch of handcuffs and everybody handcuffs themselves to a tree before we go to bed, and then like you can't
You think
serial
that's
kill
gonna stop
everybody.
a serial killer?
Yeah,
It's a serial killer.
Right, but
He's like, great, I'll cut your arm off.
but he's not an escape artist. He's handcuffed to a tree that's far away from
Serial
me.
killer. They got ways.
I keep all the keys. Everybody else gets handcuffed to a tree. Like, no way I'm going to get killed.
Once
either.
again,
That's all I'm saying.
What if the survivalist is the serial killer?
They could be, but power in numbers is all I'm saying.
What if the serial killer has 2 months to knock you all off?
Right.
Like, what if you're the last one and then just the serial killer? It's
Right.
a stressful 2 months.
Right. Right. They're slowly just killing everyone one by one by one, and then you realize, like, oh fuck.
Right. That's right. But that's because you guys are thinking about the fact that like everybody would be going alone, and I'm saying like if you stay in 4 groups of 5, so there's always 4 other people with you, then you're always able to keep an eye on everybody, and everybody's always going to be able to keep an eye on. So they can't pick you off one by one because everybody's always together. So that's how you negate it.
What if the other 17 people are 95 years old?
Well, then that changes.
I thought you were going to say, but
That
that's
changes
also a
things.
really good point.
I mean, that's
Right?
fair. That's
Right?
fair if they're all like. But I'm assuming it's a. I mean, Heather, like, are they all 95 people, or is it a
might
cross
be.
section?
They might be. This could be a cruise ship that crashed. It's a lot of older people, and you're like, "Oh, look, a serial killer,"
Yeah.
and they're like, "Okay."
Well, if they're all 95, then I'm going to go with alone. But like, unless the serial killer is 95 also, like, well, that's the thing. Like, if it's all 95-year-old people and one of them is serial killer, I'm pretty sure I can avoid that like one guy. I'll just like run up a hill, and then like, when I'm alone, and just like come down for food, and I'll be
Have
fine.
Spears. You don't know. You don't
Yeah,
know.
but a 95-year-old like is not going to be able to chuck a spear that hard. Come on, you know, like
don't know.
it would just like bounce off you. You need to get a lot of traction in a sphere. Sphere.
All right. Well,
all right.
I'm going.
Moving.
I'm with Stephanie, so I would also go with alone.
Okay.
Because I agree. Boy, did you hit on it, Stephanie. Of course, one person's going to be a talker. There's one person's going to be like, I read this. The non-survival expert's going to be like, I read this in a book once, and there's a thing, and then there's a thing, and then someone else is going to be like, I can't believe I don't have cell service on this island. And
be a
then,
lot.
right, it would be a lot. They're all going to be in heightened panic states because, you're stranded. I assume we all know there's a serial killer, so there's the extra heightened panic states. And then, out of 20 people, there's guaranteed there's going to be one asshole who's like, I'm going to bribe the serial killer. That's how we're all going to get off it. And then that person tries to bribe the serial killer, and either it works, and then you have 2 people trying to kill you, or it doesn't work and chaos ensues. I will take
They'll
my
have an
chances.
alliance.
But he won't know who the serial
There'll be
killer
some
is.
kind of alliances. I agree.
They won't know who the serial killer is. So how do you bribe somebody who you don't know who you're bribing?
What if you're a person and you just go, I'm going to bribe everybody? Hey, are you the serial killer? Here's a clamshell. Don't kill me.
Right, but if he's bribing everybody, then you know that guy can't be trusted, and then he also gets locked away in some sort of lock away thing.
I vote
that guy's
alone.
bad. First thing I do is build a jail.
Neither option's good. Both probably end in death, but I will take my chances.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
Stephanie, it's your turn. What's your question?
So would you rather have all your good food become healthy or all your food become free and you can't give it away?
All right. Who you going to first?
Heather, why don't you start?
So you can't give it away.
Meaning you can't just be like, I will get all the food free and then I will
hunger.
give it to the homeless, because then that's like that's an obvious like, we'll be a good person.
But can I throw away what I don't eat?
Yeah.
Okay.
But all of the food, everything, you can eat whatever you want. It's all healthy.
But then I still have to pay for it.
Right.
Yes.
I think I'm going to go with all food is free. Because I think that I could still find a variety of food that would be fine and okay, and fresh veggies or something. And it's free. I don't trust that if it was all healthy, it wouldn't all be like $1 million a healthy thing.
Well, I think the idea is that like if it's whatever you eat automatically just is healthy.
Yeah.
So if you eat
It's like-
lasagna, it's healthy.
It's like everything has 0 calories.
Right.
So it's all got some kind of nutritional value,
Yeah.
but you're still paying for it.
But it has no calories.
Right.
It's like it's all just going to be like
Yeah. Everything.
very nourishing and no ramifications, no tummy aches, nothing.
So
because
so
it's all
well this
healthy.
is your question. So so I'm going to say, can capitalism mess with this and start jacking up the prices, or should I assume it's just like baseline?
It's just nothing is being affected.
Okay, so then if that's the case, then I'll go with all food is healthy.
Okay.
I would go with all food is healthy. The only reason I wouldn't pick that is because I feel like the world we live in, if suddenly it was announced like, hey everybody, all food's healthy, I think everyone would jack the prices up on that stuff. And at that point I'd rather choose free food because like free food. Also really free food, I don't know, it's probably better though for the world if food is free because everyone gets food then. We end hunger.
Right, but imagine in this scenario, it's just you.
Okay, all right, then all food is healthy. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dustin, how about you?
Yeah. Well, Topping is asking the question: free food? Can I have friends over, and I buy it for them? No, you can't. It's just only you can eat that food.
Okay.
It's only free for the food that you eat.
There are a lot of ways this could go.
Yeah. I'm going to go with healthy as well. We are in agreement on this one because especially as a person who is not 18 anymore, I just want to be able to eat Doritos all the time. I don't want to be able to eat like crap that is definitely garbage for me. And just like when I was younger, I used to be able to just eat bread for dinner. I would just buy a loaf of bread and like a thing of sauce and just dip bread into sauce, and it was wonderful. And if I do that now, I gain all the weight. So I can't do it anymore, and I would very much like to do it. And it works out economically too, because you can like, unfortunately for the world, things that are bad for you are cheaper than things that are good for you. So like you can probably afford it like in an easier way. So I would say yes. I would like if eating a bag of Doritos was like eating like a bunch of broccoli, I'm super on board for that. I would do that every time. What about you, Stephanie?
Yeah, as somebody who just finished Whole30, I would definitely want all food to be healthy because only eating healthy food is really hard and really expensive. And you have to buy a lot of it to feel full. So the grocery bills went up and I was hangry a lot. So I think it would be good for everyone who knows me if all food was healthy, because I would be more enjoyable to be around, and I would love to not have to think about it or worry about it.
Okay.
Yeah,
cool.
I mean that's a good point. Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially you're right. You're both right. Like breads and stuff. Yeah.
I want bread so much.
Yeah. Who doesn't? How can you not?
Wonderful.
It's bread.
All right. So that brings us to our third one. And I usually give myself the ones that like require a bunch of explanation because I'll do the explanation. So, okay. So here's the thing. Imagine you're an actor and you're only ever going to be in one movie. You know that you'll only ever be in one movie. And it'll be a very successful movie. It'll be like a Titanic, like Avatar, like, like great, like makes billions of dollars. Everybody in the world sees it. However, in that movie, you play just like the worst character ever. Like it's like the guy who played like Biff from, from Back to the Future, but like worse. Like you're like you're just like somebody who like everybody would dislike, and you make like a bunch of money from doing it, but it's the only time the world will ever see you. Would you rather do that, or basically just be like who you are right now? Heather, I'll go to you first.
So if I stay who I am right now, then it's like you don't get in the film. You don't get
right.
Yeah, I don't care. I'll take the villain. Why not?
You'll take the villain?
It's not me. I already play villains in a lot of like stuff that we do with like shot for shots and things. It's fun.
Okay.
It's not me. It's not me. It's not who I am. And I have enough of a like I know myself enough to not be worried that like someone's gonna be like, oh my God, that's you, like whatever. And I'm not going to go out and interact with the public because now I'll have money so I can like avoid the public more. So yeah, it's fine.
Okay.
And honestly, I think of a really good example of at least in nerddom is there was an actress who was in Star Trek Deep Space Nine named Louise Fletcher. She also played Nurse Ratched. If you know that movie, in One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. And she played like a heinous character in Star Trek Deep Space Nine. And she just passed away. And everyone is just like, everyone's memorials are just like, R.I.P., an amazing actress, loved to hate you. Like, people realize. They know. And if they don't, who cares?
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I don't know that I agree, but we'll go to Stephanie first and see what she has to say.
Yeah, I think I would just stay how I am because, like, I don't like bumping into people ever. And I feel like when you're famous, you're just, like, constantly bumping into people. Like, they're constantly like, hey, you're that person from that person. And, like, rather than being like, hey, weren't we in the same grade school class? It would be like that one thing that you get like maybe a year where some person you knew from years ago is like, hey, don't I know you? It would be like all the time. Like, hey, weren't you that asshole in that movie? Like, I hate you. And then you would be getting like the death threat letters and like the weirdos stalking you and the people that don't know it's just a movie. And I don't know. I think people are like really psycho and weird. And also like, I don't want people coming up to me if I was ever with my family or friends because I'd be worried about their safety more so. I think I'd rather not.
Okay. I am with you on that. Heather, I think you're underestimating, like, to Stephanie's point, like, I think you're underestimating how awful and stupid people are in terms of like that kind of thing. Like,
I know.
Because I've seen like interviews with people where they're like, people are still like, I can't believe you did that to,
Soap
whatever
opera
character.
Actors. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's like, no, I didn't. The people wrote that, and I just said words in front of a camera. So I feel like if it's a movie that's like on the level, especially if it's on the level of like I think people were mad at Billy Zane for a little while.
I was just gonna say, I feel like there's a whole bunch of people who are like, Billy Zane's so great in that movie. He's so evil, but he's great.
But I think like it took him a little while to come back because people were still like, fuck Billy Zane. Like all these people. All these people died because of him.
He's probably got so much money, you can just sit in a house somewhere and not do
but do you want to sit in a house somewhere and just be like...
Yes. Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. I will hire bodyguards. I will have somebody who drives me around. I will not deal with people unless I want to.
But I guess that comes back to the fact that, like, I thought the pandemic was a bad thing. And I remember you were like, no, this is my ideal state. Like... If you factor out the negative health things.
Negative health things and the scary, the uncertainty of like what's going to happen in the world.
Right.
Yeah.
That was your preferred.
The pandemic absolutely made me realize how much more introverted than I thought I was. Like I'm extroverted when I go out and see my friends and hang out with people, and I love socializing. But I also was like, no, I'm also good just hanging indoors.
Okay. Yeah, I like socializing with the people that I like, not the general public.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that is the end of it, guys. That was our last question. Yeah, we did it. We saw some crazy videos. We asked some crazy questions and talked about some crazy stories. So while I look for the right buttons, Stephanie, where can people find out more about what you got going on?
So I perform with Comedy Sports Philadelphia. And they have a website and shows every Saturday. And there's also some fun shows that will be promoted on their website. There's a lot of good stuff there. So Comedy Sports Philadelphia.
Cool. Thanks so much. Heather, what about you?
I think the next thing I got coming up is going to be similar to you, Dustin.
Yep.
It was October 11th.
Yep.
I know it's Tuesday, October 11th, Chaos Network Sketch Comedy. We have our second show of the season coming up at the Tank. If it's anything like our first show, should be pretty fun.
Cool. And I have that thing that Heather just said, so I have nothing new to add. But you can check us out at Super Important Stuff on Instagram. We let people know who our guests are going to be, and our amazing guest today. Stephanie, thank you so much for being part of the show.
Thank you
amazing.
for having me again.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun.
And we will see you guys next week. Bye.